Okay, today we're going to talk about looping campaigns. Looping campaigns can be really useful. They confuse a lot of people, but one of the primary reasons that I like to use looping campaigns is when you need to automate the repeating of messages to your customer. So this might be automating about a webinar that happens on the third Thursday of every month. You can just have it reset, send them the thing, send them the message, and then at the end of the month, you pull them out and you put them back in. That's called a looping campaign. And there are some essential elements that you need to make sure you have, or the loops don't work. The essential elements is that you have one tag that is used in 4 different places. I almost always use the word looping in the tag, and that way it's really easy to remember which one you're doing, and you're not going to confuse it with another tag. And if you train your team that that's what the looping tag does, they can get used to using that naming as well. This is a breakout of a really basic looping campaign, and 2 of the elements are shown here. We have the tag right here at the top. This is what puts people into the campaign. We use that same tag right here at the end, and this is what makes it loop. If you have different tags or if you don't have this process, it won't work. This tag apply here will pull them out, and because it's the same tag, it will immediately drop them right back into the bucket. Let's take a look really quickly and see what that looks like on the inside of the campaign. This is the inside of the campaign, and the other 2 critical elements are here. The very first thing you do is remove that looping tag. And then the very last thing you do is you apply the looping tag. That's what makes it loop. If the tag is still on the contact record when you have this action here to apply it, nothing happens. It has to be removed and then applied. So essentially, you will never see the looping tag on the contact record if this is set up properly. So that's how. And then any other messaging, anything else that you want to send. In this one here, I'm doing a hypothetical sending an email on the 5th, the 15th, and the 25th of the month. And then on the very last day of the month at 8 a.m., it's applying the tag, which pulls them out of the campaign, drops them back up, and sets them back up for that email on the 5th again. This is, like I said, a really basic campaign. I would use this for automated monthly messaging, like I said, for a webinar or for office hours or something along those lines. Of course, we can set up more complex campaigns using the looping methodology also, but we still have to have those same 4 elements. So we still have to have that looping tag starting the campaign off, and we still have to have that looping tag all the way at the end. But because here we've got a couple of different scenarios that contacts can go through, the removal of that tag and where we apply the tag are not going to be in the same sequence. So we're going to remove that tag here as the very first action. Very first thing that happens when they get dropped into this campaign, this sequence, is that tag is going to be removed. And in this particular scenario, this part is sending out that email on the 5th and the email on the 15th. But I wanted to send a different message to members versus prospects. So we split them into a separate sequences to send out that email on the 25th. Let's see what that looks like in the next sequence. This is the member sequence, and we can see that we still have that email going out on the 25th. And again, here we've got waiting until the last day of the month, and then 8 a.m. we're applying that looping tag there. And we have the same situation set up in the prospect sequence. And you can see that here. This looks the same. This is the prospect sequence, and we're sending out the message on the 25th, and then on the last day of the month, it's applying that tag, which will loop them through. Of course, you could make this campaign as complex or as simple as you want, as long as you remember the 4 elements. That you have a tag here to trigger, a tag here to pull out, that tag is removed in the very first sequence, and that tag is reapplied in the very last sequence or sequences. The only time I might not have the tag being applied in the sequence itself is I use this also for re-engagement campaigns. So we'll have the looping tag go here and the looping tag go here. And the first thing that happens is the tag is removed, but we don't have that tag being applied by the sequence, because once a month we will go through, see who is engaged, and we will manually apply that tag, which will pull them out and drop them back in. But for any kind of a reminder scenario, you're going to want to have the sequence itself, the campaign itself, applying that tag so that they loop through. Hope this was helpful. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out.